Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn about Introduction to Fractions. You must have heard about fractions in math, and if you have shared your chocolate with your friend, then you have used fractions in real life. Now first of all, let's look at its definition. A fraction is a part of a whole number, or it's a part of something. Look at the example. Here 4 is the numerator and 6 is the denominator. We write fractions in the form of numerator by denominator and line in between. Fractions are used to represent smaller pieces or parts of different things. Let's draw a picture to understand fractions. So, let's draw a circle. The circle represents a whole, just like a whole, cookies or pizzas. Now, if we divide that circle into 4 equal parts, then we call it each of these parts as a fraction of the original whole circle. You can take an example of different parts of the pizza. Now, let me explain you how to write a fraction. Unlike a regular number, to write a fraction, you need two numbers. One number on the top and the other number on the bottom, and a line in between them. Now let's figure out the top and the bottom numbers. Remember that fractions are used to represent part of a whole number, and the number on the bottom tells us how many parts the whole is divided into, and the number on the top tells us how many parts we have left. So this is the way to write fractions. Now let's write fractions of our pizzas. There is an example of a pizza. Now, as you can see that this pizza has 8 equal parts and one part of the pizza or one slice is taken out. So we are left with only 7 slices. So the fraction is 7 by 8. Now, if one more part is taken out or one more slice is taken out, and we are left with, count the slices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the total parts are still the same, that are 8. So the denominator will remain 8. And in the numerator 6. So the fraction for these pizzas are 6 by 8. Now if half of the pizza is taken away and we are left with half, so again the total slices were the same, that were 8. So denominator will remain 8, but the numerator will be 4. So the fraction here we got is 4 by 8. Let me give you example of fraction strips. Now, as you can see, there is one whole rectangular strip and we call it one whole as it's not divided into any pieces. It's a single long strip. Now, what if we divide it into 2 equal parts? When we divide this whole strip into 2 equal parts, we will get 1 by 2 of the fraction. So, each part is 1 by 2. Now, if we divide it into 3 equal parts, so each part will be 1 by 3, and similarly 1 by 4 for 4 equal parts, then 5 for 5 equal parts, 1 by 5 for 6 equal parts, 1 by 6, and for 8 equal parts is 1 by 8. So here in this example you can see that the whole rectangular strip, the length was the same, but we divided that into different equal parts. When we divided into 2 equal parts, the denominator was the total of the parts. The total were 2, so it remained 2. And then similarly we kept on increasing the parts and the fraction got increased and we got more fractions, but the size of the strip remained the same. Now let's look at some real life example. Let's suppose your mother brought 3 chocolates for you and your brother, and she said to equally divide between 2 of you. So what you are going to do is, 1 chocolate is yours. You got 1 chocolate, and then 1 chocolate your brother got. 1 whole chocolate you got, 1 whole chocolate your brother got, and then the third chocolate you divided equally in 2 parts, and 1 part is yours and the other part is your brother's. and here you can see that you have one whole chocolate and one half part of the third chocolate. So you have one whole 1 by 2, and similarly your brother is also having one whole 1 by 2 of the chocolate. So in this way we can equally divide anything. Here we divided chocolates into equal parts, so we can easily use fractions in our daily lives. Now look at some other examples of different shapes. Now here you can see this is a square. A square has, this square is divided into 4 equal parts. So the denominator will be the total parts, that are 4, and the numerator are the shaded parts, that are 2. So the fraction will be 2 by 4, or in words we can say the fraction is 2/4. Now look at the next figure. It's a circle. It's divided into 4 parts. So the denominator is 4 and the numerator is 3, because 3 parts are shaded here, and we can write it in words as 3/4. Similarly, octagon, it has 3 parts shaded. The fraction is 3 by 8. We call it as 3/8. And the last is triangle, 2 by 3, 2 shaded out of 3, and it is 2/3. So this is the way to solve or to identify the fractions of given shapes. Now it's your turn to do some work. I have given you 2 questions, and in these questions you have to write down the shaded parts, solve, and give your answers in the comment below.